Welcome back to Coffee with the Authors. I'm Wendelin Van Draanen. I'm the author of a whole bunch of books. And this episode is a follow-up to episode number 35, where I explained about my invitation to participate in the South China Book Festival and how that came about. Now I am going to tell you what that was like and share a little of the behind-the-scenes things that happened during that visit, which was just kind of mind-blowing. To recap, I was the only American novelist invited to participate in the South China Book Festival. They had lots of authors there, but the vast majority of them were regional authors. And when I asked them why it was that they wanted me to come, my understanding of the answer evolved over time. I have this book titled Flipped that came out in 2001. It has been very popular in the United States, and it slowly made its way around the world and was translated into many languages and wound up back on the desk of the director Rob Reiner, who turned it into a Warner Brothers feature film. So I have this book that has been out there for almost 25 years. And it continues to sell well and be very popular. And in the United States, we don't like to say that a book is of a certain age, because in our culture, it's kind of like, well, that was your parents' book, or that was a book that was then, and we want to focus on what is now, the shiny new thing now. But Flipped has maintained a steady audience across the years. It has sort of a timeless appeal to it, so it doesn't feel dated. And the movie, when it was made, it was the director decided to set it even farther back in time than where I had written it. So he set it as a period piece in the 50s and 60s. So it gave it that kind of immediate classic feel. So it feels timeless, which is really great for the book. It's great for me. China knew about the book before the movie came out. So the book has been read by people in China for many years. And so it's translated into Chinese, but it was also used as a text in schools. So the book is sold in English, in Chinese, and as a 2-pack in English and Chinese. There's also this just gorgeous edition of it that has this hardcover, and it has both the Chinese story and the English story bound together for Chinese people who want to learn English. So it has been read in the schools, but the market for Flipped is actually adults. So this book is sold to adults. There was actually a dual purpose for them bringing me in, which I didn't fully understand. I knew that I was going to participate in the festival. I knew I was going to give a presentation with slides on the international stage. I knew that they would have book signings in different locations around the city. And I knew that they were going to treat me to sightseeing. So usually when you have a guest and you take them sightseeing, it's to have them gain an appreciation for the area. It's to show them a good time. And so on this list of things that I was going to do was I was going to tour the third tallest tower in the world. I was going to go to this magnificent library. I was going to go on a river cruise at night. There were all these things that they had scheduled for me to do. And I thought these were things that they were doing just to take me around to various places to show how wonderful the city was. What it really was there were camera crews everywhere. When I was recorded from the moment that I got off of my very, 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 very long flight until I left. And there were camera crews wherever we went. So if they told me we were having a casual day walking around part of the city, I went there thinking we were having a casual day walking around the city. What I did not know was that there would be camera crews everywhere all the time. So when I went to the library, there were camera crews everywhere. It was a fascinating library, by the way. When I went up the tower, there were camera crews everywhere. all the time. And when I went on the river cruise, okay, we're going on a night river cruise, which is actually pretty awesome because the Pearl River goes through the city, and the buildings are all lit up. They're skyscrapers and they're all lit up, and it's a whole bunch of different colors, and you go under bridges that are pretty and you lit up also, and you can get dinner and have it on a dinner cruise, a romantic evening. You can take your family there on the river cruise. It was like pretty great to go on this river cruise. Only there comes this reporter from Beijing with her camera crew, and of course it's at night, so they bring lights, and I felt like such an American, just there kind of worrying about ruining the experience for these people who had paid to be on this river cruise at night with the lights on me and them interviewing me on the river cruise. So I didn't understand the dual purpose was to take this famous American author and have them kind of, by their presence in these places, show off the marvels of the city. The other purpose of my visit was to participate in the book festival. And so we start with interviews, a lot of cameras, and cutting to the chase. I gave my presentation with my slides and the dual languages, and there was an interpreter that was also saying verbally what I was saying in Chinese, and it all went super well. And I faced an audience of cameras. It was a little mind-blowing, the whole thing. There was seating on this by the international stage was full. And then there were like throngs of people that went around the whole thing, like they couldn't get in, but they could see in. So, and they were watching. So when I was done and they set me up to do the book signing, there was this line. It just went like a Disneyland ride for these people wanting to come and get me to sign their edition of Flipped. It zigzagged and zigzagged, and there were so many people, and they all wanted a selfie, of course, cameras. But I learned to go look down at the book, W, Van. I would look up and smile at the selfie, the camera, and the person on the other side of the table getting the picture, and write Draanen like that, and then close the book, and then go to the next person. So there were so many people, but they were women. These were not girls. They weren't like, in the United States, this book is read by 6th through 9th graders, and then adults like it too. But in China, I noticed that everybody in line was an adult. And so some of them could speak English. And so I started asking them, what was it about this book? Because they love this book. Okay, in the United States, people will call this book a cute book. It's a romantic comedy between a boy and a girl. She likes him, he doesn't like her. And then he starts to see that this really kind of odd girl is unique in a very good way. And he starts to like her, just as she starts to see that he's a liar and a sneak and she shouldn't want anything to do with him. So in the United States, some adults will call it a cute book. And I just want to slap them. Because like we've talked about on this channel, you don't want a message book. You want a book that makes people think about things, that sets the stage for a broadening of thought. And for me, that is what Flipped is. It's about seeing a person for who they are instead of what they look like, or instead of those, that crushing feeling you have because they're so cute. So that's the reason for it. So in the United States, after the movie came out, it became all about Bryce, because the actor that plays Bryce is a real cutie pie, and a lot of people who saw the movie just fell for Bryce. So it was all about Bryce. But in China, it was all about Julie. It was all about Julie. They told me, Julie gives me courage. Julie gives me strength, because Julie stands up for what she believes in. Julie's just got a backbone. And she's not going to let people's opinion of her or how it's damaging her popularity to be the person that she is affect her. So in China, they're all about Julie. Julie gives me strength. Julie gives me courage. because she stands up for what she believes in. And also, Julie's family. Julie's family supports Julie. Julie has these ideas about things, and her father supports her. And our cultures are different in this regard. Where in America, we're very much helping our girls, to shine. But in China, that isn't the case as much. And to see the family unit flipped be supportive of Julie the way they are, really makes these readers feel like there is hope for a situation like that in their future. And so just the whole idea of the reason that they love this book, it meant so much to me, because that's what it means to me, right? It's not the superficial cuteness of it. It's the substance that I really hope positively affects my readers and makes them think twice about their own self-worth and who is worthy of their affections, and to be selective about that. So the other thing was that in China, I said, well, it's coming on its 25th anniversary, which, that's quite a milestone. So the book's been around for a while. And they said their thinking there is different than our thinking in America. Their thinking is, well, it's been vetted. It's like a lot of times kids don't want to read in the United States, kids don't want to read the books that their parents read, because that was their thing and they want their own thing. But over there, it was like, oh no, it's been vetted, and people have if their parents liked it, then that means that there's quality to it, there's substance to it, it's worth their time. So it was a completely different kind of perspective. I wound up signing 500 books at the festival. They ran out of books. They closed the line. And then over the next 3 days, I went to a mall, and there was another 250 that I signed. And I had interviews at all these different places. And every time they had people there that had the book, wanted the book signed. It was the most amazing and rewarding and satisfying, just as a writer, to have that level of love for your work for the right reasons. That was something worth waiting for. So I'm really super glad that I went to China, that I had this experience, despite the fact that coming home, my flights got canceled, they got delayed. It was just a nightmare getting home. Despite all of that, the experience that I had there, and the feeling that this population really understands what it is I tried to do with this book, it made me feel so rewarded. A little point here for writers is that it can take time for you to find your audience, to find people who really understand the heart of why it is that you do what you do. So just continue to write from your heart, and eventually it may find its way around the world to an audience that really, really understands it. So there's my little story about China. Thanks for your interest. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next week. Meanwhile, dream big, work hard, and don't give up.